What's up, guys? We made some passion fruit liqueur a few weeks ago, and we need to make some passion fruit cocktails. And I figured, why not take 3 cocktails from Smuggler's Cove, the best tiki book there is. These are passion fruit tiki cocktails. We're making 3. Now, technically, in Smuggler's Cove, they do use passion fruit syrup, but with a little modification, we can use our passion fruit liqueur. And guys, as always, Odin is here to ask you to subscribe, hit the button, hit that bell, and yes, I will give him treats. Now, one final note, I will be using my drink mixer to make these because I think it works with tiki drinks, but you absolutely don't need one. You can totally just shake with crushed ice and you'll be fine. First one here, we've got some rum, we've got some gin, we've got some apricot, and of course our passion fruit. This is the Hinky Dinks Fizzy. And yes, I did choose it because of the name. It's a hilarious name. All right, first up, we've got some aged rum, 1 ounce. I'm using Angostura 7-year-old rum into the mixing glass. All right, use any kind of aged rum you got. After that, we want a dry gin. I'm using a local gin from Dillon's distillery here in Ontario, but any dry gin is gonna work great. So 1 ounce of gin. So we're splitting the base, rum and gin for this one. After that, we want an apricot liqueur. I'm using my own homemade. Click that link, check out that recipe. I make a lot of homemade liqueurs, but we want half an ounce of our apricot. I know Bowles makes a great one, Giffard makes one, Luxardo makes one. After that, 3/4 ounce of passion fruit liqueur or homemade liqueur. If you're using syrup, only half an ounce. So that's basically what I did, was I just slightly upped the amount because the liqueur is obviously slightly less sweet than a syrup would be. Half ounce of lime juice in next. And our last ingredient here will be 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice. All right, so what we want to do now is get some crushed ice. We're going to dump this into the tin of our drink mixer. And I'm gonna do 3 scoops of crushed ice. And in the drink mixer it goes. As I mentioned, you don't need one, you can just shake over ice. Now please note that a drink mixer is not a blender, it's not blending the drink, it's just mixing really fast and aerating and frothing. All right, we're gonna serve in a large snifter. There's like a 22-ounce snifter. And our last ingredient will be white sparkling wine. So I'm just gonna top off with more crushed ice. And then about 2 ounces of our sparkling wine, but honestly, I don't measure whenever I top things off. I just go for it. Gonna give everything a good mix. We're gonna top off with a little more sparkling wine, and then we're gonna garnish. For our garnish here, we're gonna do a dehydrated citrus wheel and a sprig of mint. And there it is, guys, the Hinky Dinks Fizzy. All right, can't wait to try it, but first we have to move on and make our second drink. This one has rum and bourbon. It also has some Luxardo Maraschino, some Licor 43. There's a lot going on here. These are tiki drinks. There's always a lot going on. This is the Mastadon. All right, so first things first, we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of our blended aged rum. I'm using Mount Gay Black Barrel. It's a very delicious rum, but use anything you have, obviously. After that, we want the same amount, 1.5 ounces of bourbon. I'm using Buffalo Trace, brand new bottle here. So 3 ounces of lovely booze in this guy. After that, onto our liqueurs. We're gonna do 1/2 ounce of Luxardo Maraschino Liqueur. Now, if you've never had this before, it's a cherry liqueur, but it's not what you'd expect. It's not sweet and red cherry flavored. It's a very dry liqueur. And after that, we're gonna do Licor 43, 1/2 ounce as well. This is a vanilla spiced liqueur, so this one will give you a good sweetness. It is quite sweet, but it's got nice herbs and spices and of course a strong vanilla flavor. After that, star of the show today, passion fruit liqueur, 1 ounce. Dial that back to 3/4 or even half if you're using syrup. Looking good. So many ingredients in these drinks, it's crazy. All right, we're not done yet. We're doing 1/2 ounce of lime juice. And then we're gonna do 3 ounces of pineapple juice. This is where I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this cocktail because that's a lot of pineapple juice. And I'm not the biggest fan of pineapple forward drinks, so we'll see how that works out. That seems excessive to me. And our last ingredient will be 2 dashes of Peychaud's bitters. So So Peychaud's has a much more floral anise flavor than Angostura. All right, 3 scoops of ice in the drink mixer tin. Give it a blend for about 5-6 seconds. We're serving this guy in an awesome tiki mug. Look at this guy. I like tiki mugs. I like to see the cocktails, so I prefer glass mugs, but these things are freaking awesome. We're topping with some crushed ice, and then we're adding a dehydrated citrus, and because we have lots of pineapple, we're going to do some pineapple fronds for garnish. And there it is, the Mastadon, looking awesome in an awesome tiki mug. Let's move on to our final of the day, and this one here has 4 kinds of rum. Now this is a classic tiki right here. 11 ingredients. This is the Puka Punch. I know it sounds disgusting, but hear me out. It's going to be good. We're going to start with a black rum. I'm using Goslings. We want 3/4 ounce. After that, we want a blended aged rum. Once again, using the Mount Gay Black Barrel. Full ounce of this guy. So if you keep it the score, we have 1 3/4 ounces of rum. After that, we want a lightly aged rum. I'm using Eldorado 3. Full ounce of this guy as well. Now, this is the rum. These are the rums, or at least the categories of rums that are recommended by Smuggler's Cove. Use whatever rum you have; it'll turn out great. After that, we want 1/2 ounce of falernum. I make my own, so click that link. Learn how to make your own falernum liqueur. Falernum is a essential ingredient in tiki cocktails, so you gotta have falernum. Going back to our passion fruit liqueur, a full ounce. Once again, if you're using syrup, just dial it back a little bit, but I'm doing a full ounce of my passion fruit. After that, we've got a full ounce of honey syrup, which I thought was excessive, but then again, we do have 4 ounces of rum, so maybe that's not a bad deal. Full ounce of lime juice on top of that, so it's going to cut through some of that sweetness. Wow, this drink is huge. After that, we want 3/4 ounce of orange juice. That's freshly squeezed, so there's a bit of pulp in there. Don't worry if you think you saw a chunk. 3/4 ounce of pineapple juice as well. Yes, that thing floating there, that's just orange pulp. Don't worry about that. And 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Wow, that's a huge drink. All right, we're going to dump it into the tin of our drink mixer. Once again, 3 scoops of ice and blend. All right, we're serving this guy in a nice tiki glass. We've got some crushed ice in there. We're gonna top it off. Straw. Top it off with more crushed ice. Mint sprig. And the last ingredient, of course, because if you're counting, it was only 3 rums so far. We want 3/4 ounce of a dark overproofed rum. I'm using Plantation OFTD, and we're just gonna drizzle that on the top. And I don't even know if it'll fit because it's pretty dang full. Got a little spillage there, but most of it's in the glass. All right, there it is. Oh my God, huge drink. That's it, guys. The Puka Punch. Oh, wow, look at that. These are gonna get you fucked. All right, so there they are. Our 3 passion fruit flavored tiki cocktails with so many ingredients. Let's give them a try. All right. Number 1, I'm gonna go in order as I always do. The Hinky Dinky Fizz, or Hinky Dinks Fizzy. It's very refreshing, very light, because it's got the sparkling wine, very mellow. You do get the gin and the bourbon and the passion fruit comes through, but it is very mellow, easy drinking, very refreshing because of that sparkling wine. I like that. That's good. Next up, the Mastadon in our awesome ceramic tiki mug. Let's give that one a try. Okay, as I suspected, just way too much pineapple. For me personally, I think you could dial back the pineapple, cut it in half, ounce and a half. The bourbon and the rum come through. The pineapple kind of overshadows the passion fruits. I'm not really getting that passion fruit. The maraschino, I get it. Yeah, it works, but way too much pineapple. Finally, Puka Punch. Ooh, oh, that is good. Wow, you like the blend of all those rums. The passion fruit comes through nicely. The falernum, the lime. That is a beautiful drink. very boozy, but everything is very well balanced. With all those ingredients in there, very well balanced drink. That is a fantastic tiki drink. Wow. All right, let's rate these, shall we? I think you guys know. Number 1, going to give it to the Puka Punch. Number 2, I'm going to give it to the Hinky Dinks Fizzy. And lastly, the Mastadon just didn't do it for me. Way too much pineapple for my taste. And there it is, guys. But those are 3 fantastic tiki drinks using passion fruit liqueur or syrup, if you just have syrup, from Smuggler's Cove. This is a fantastic book, guys. If you don't have this book, get it. You learn a lot about tiki, but you also learn a lot about rum. It talks about all the categories of rums and how they're different and which ones to use when. It's a great book. So if you got the ingredients, I hope you give these 3 cocktails a try, and we will see you next time. Cheers.